We're talking about graphing in slope-intercept form. What is slope again, though? So let's just remind ourselves, slope is also known as m. We write that as m. Slope equals rise over run. Slope equals rise or run. So rise is your change in y, your up and down, and run is your change in x. So it's your up and down value over your left and right value. Okay, that's your slope. All right, so everything we graph today is going to be in this y equals mx plus b form. You get y by itself. Y is by itself. Okay, m stands for your slope. M stands for your slope, and B stands for your y-intercept, and that's where it hits the y-axis. Okay, so let's practice graphing some of these guys. We'll do a few together, and then I'll let you guys work on your own. So first off, it says sketch the graph of each line. Number one, we'll do number one together. It says y equals 4/3 x minus 2. So we can tell that this is slope-intercept form because y is by itself. By itself. So y is by itself, so we know that this is slope-intercept form. Our slope is m, it's right here, and this is our y-intercept. So let's just remind ourselves, our slope is 4/3. Okay? That's our m right here. And then our b is right here. So b equals -2. Okay? Now, there's a little trick to help you remember how to graph these guys if you forget. Y equals mx plus b. Right? This is your m, and this is your b, right? So b, it doesn't really stand for this, but you can think of it. B stands for the word begin. Begin. So you're going to begin with this number right here. We're going to begin with this number right here. So we're going to begin with y equals -2. Remember, this is our y-intercept right here, y-intercept. So -2, go ahead and find -2 on the y-axis. Go ahead and put it right there. Go ahead and put your dot right there. So we're going to begin there, and then the m can stand for, it doesn't really, but it's a little trick, begin and then move. So this is your slope. Right, so we're going to move with our slope. So look at our number right here. We're looking right here at our slope now. This 4 is our rise. It's a +4. So +4 means we're going to go up. Right, we're going to go up 4. And then 3, this is our run. This is our left and right value. Well, +3 means we're going to go to the right. Okay, we're going to go up and to the right. So let's go ahead and take our dot, and we're going to start not from the origin. We're going to start from down here, and we're going to go up 4, right 3. Up 4, right 3. So let's just count it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and put your dot right there. Now, we can keep going here just to make sure we're counting this right. So let's, again, start from this dot. Let's go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right 3. So this is a line that we can create. Let's see if I can use a ruler with this thing. All right, so let's draw a straight line. We'll use our rulers to make it as straight as possible. So try and make it as straight as possible. There we go. And then please draw arrows on either end. The arrows means that the line goes on forever, both directions. It goes on forever this way, forever that way. So we just did our first graph. We started with the intercept. I'm just going to outline it again. We started with the intercept, begin with the B, and then we moved. We moved up 4, right 3, up 4, right 3, and then we drew our line with the 2 arrows. All right, let's try another one. So let's come down to number, well, we come over to number 2 here. So number 2, again, y is by itself. So we know that this is slope-intercept form. This is our m, and this is our b. Right? This is our m, this is our b. So let me just write that here. M equals 3. M equals 3. This is our slope. Slope is M. Now you can also write 3. I would just start to write this as a fraction just so you can get used to it. 3 over 1. Right? 3 over 1. And our b, just like last time, oops, don't forget that negative, our b equals -2. Now, we've got these two numbers. How do we actually graph this? If you forgot, remember the little trick I taught you? B can stand for begin. Begin. You don't have to write that down, but we're going to begin with this number right here. So begin with -2. Oh, just like last problem. So begin with -2, not on the x-axis, not over here, down here. -2 on the y-axis. All right, now we're going to move. We're going to move with our slope, which is 3. Let's think about what that means. Remember, slope means rise, so either up and down, and then overrun, left and right. So +3, that would be a up. Okay, +1, so it's either left or right. Rise over run, it's going to be to the right. So we're going to go up 3, right 1. Up 3, right 1. So watch with me now here. Start with this -2. Don't start at the origin. Go up 3, 1, 2, 3. Go right 1. Let's do it again. Up 3, 1, 2, 3. Right 1. There it is. Now, let's say you ran out of space. Let's say you want to do one more dot. Up 3. Oh, we're out of space. What if we went this way? Well, the trick you can do is instead of going up 3, right 1, up 3, right 1, you can rewrite your m like this. Right? Because if you think about it, a negative over a negative makes a positive. So -3 over -1 is the exact same as 3 over 1. You're not changing it. But really, that means you can do is instead of going up and right, you can go down, down, and left and get the same line. Down 3, left 1. Down 3, left 1. Let's try that. So start with this -2. We're going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to go left 1. And see, it makes the same nice line that we had for the other one. So let's take our rulers, straight edge, and try to make as straight of a line as we can. Right through those guys. And don't forget your arrows. Don't forget your arrows right there. So again, just to review, we begin with the y intercept and we move. Up 3, right 1. Up 3, right 1. If you want to go the other way, down 3, left 1. Down 3, left 1. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and... Oh, and let me just remind you one more thing here. Come down. Number 4, you can do this on your own, but don't forget, for number 4, the m is not x. The m is the number in front of x. So in this case, your m would be 1, right? Your m would be 1. Your m would be 1. But just write it as a fraction. So just go ahead and write it as 1 over 1. Right? 1 over 1. And of course, your b is 2. We won't do that one. Why don't you come down with me, though? We'll do one more. We take a look at number 6. Okay, so again, this is slope-intercept form. This is our m. This is our b. Right, our m is -3. We're going to write this as a fraction, so write this as -3 over 1. And our b is -3. Which one do we start with? Again, we start with the b, begin. Begin and then move. So we're going to begin with -3. Go and put -3 on the y-axis, not the x-axis, not over here. Over here, -3. Begin there. We're going to move. Now this one is a little bit different. Anytime you have a negative slope, it's going to be facing the other direction. So this is your rise, overrun. This is your rise part. It's either up or down. Up or down. Since it's negative, we're going to go down. Now, some people make mistakes here. It's not down and left. Look at the 1. You see how he's still positive? The 1 is still positive, so this is going to be down and to the right, not to the left. If you go down and left, that turns into +3. So let's try this. We're going to start with this. We're going to begin here. We're going to move down 3, right 1. Down 3, right 1. So let's try that. So we're going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to go right 1. Down 3, right 1. Now, let's say I ran out of space, which I did. How can I do more dots if I want to make more dots? Well, instead of going like this with the negative on top, in the numerator, remember I can put the negative underneath, and that's the same number. That's the same number. So instead of going down and right, I can go positive 3, which would be up, and then negative 1, which would be to the left. Okay, so instead of going down 3, right 1, I'm out of space here, I'm going to go up 3, left 1. It's going to make the same line. So watch this. 1, 2, 3, left 1. That's really all you need to do. If you want to keep going, that's fine. Up 3, 1, 2, 3, left 1. You see it keeps making that same perfect line. So we go ahead, finish this up. We're going to make a straight line with our ruler. Straight as we can, and don't forget to add the arrows. As always, we begin with B and then we move. Alright, why don't we turn the page over and take a look at some of these on the back. So first off, before we get to number 7 and number 8, why don't we come down to a different example here. Why don't we take a look at number 12. We'll come back to 7 and 8. Alright, so number 12, what do we do here if we don't have anything right here? So this is our M, right? This is our B. Well, there's nothing here. There's nothing here, but it's pretty easy if you just think about, well, what number represents nothing? That's 0, right? So you could put plus 0 if you want, but you don't have to. Just think of nothing there, right? So our slope is 5. Our M is 5. Our slope is 5. You can write that as 5 over 1 if you want. I mean, I think it's more helpful to do that. B, our y-intercept is 0. Our y-intercept is 0. That's helpful to remember. So, again, where do we start? So again, we begin with this 0. So we're going to begin, we put a 0 on the y-axis right here, and then we're going to move. We're going to move. How does our move work? Again, this is positive, rise or run. It's either up or down. It's going to be 5, so it's up. This is positive, so we're going to go to the right. So we're going to go up 5, right 1. Up 5, right 1. So follow me if you start from this dot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 1. Up 5, right 1. Up 5, right 1. You could tell we're going to go off the page if we do that. So instead of doing 5 over 1, something that's equivalent, the same thing, would also be negative 5 over negative 1. And you don't have to write these down after a while. I mean, you just get the idea. So instead of going up 5, right 1, we can go down 5 because it's a negative, and then we're going to go left 1 because this is also a negative. So down 5, left 1. So start from this dot. Let's go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left 1. You see how it makes that nice straight line. So once you create the dot, let's go ahead and do our straight edge here. Make a nice line with your ruler. There we go. So again, we just begin here and we move up 5, right 1. Up 5, right 1. Down 5, left 1. Let's try the one here. Get that straight. Let's see, there we go. So let's come down here to number 14. Let's try this one here. What would this one look like? Okay, so this is our M. This is our B. So our M is negative. It's not X. Don't include X. It's the number in front of X. So it's going to be M equals negative. I mean, you could think of it. There's a negative 1 here. So M equals negative 1. M equals negative 1. You could also write that as negative 1 over 1. Right? Always write it as over 1 if you don't have a fraction. And our B this time is not negative 2. Our B is positive 2. So let's think about this. Which one do we start with? Again, we start with B. We start with begin. We begin here. We begin with this positive 2 on the y-axis, not the x-axis. Over here, not over here. Begin over here. Begin like that, and then we're going to move. We're going to move. Now here's the difference. It's negative, so instead of going up, we're going to go down. Now don't get confused. See how this is still positive 1? We're not going to go down and left. We're going to go down and right. Down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1. So let's just start from here. To go down 1, right 1. There it is. Down 1, right 1. Let's say you wanted to go the other direction. So instead of going down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, you could reverse that and it would look like this, right? This is also the same thing. So that would be up 1, and then this is negative, so that would be left 1. Up 1, left 1. So let's start from here and then go up 1, left 1. You can see, look, it makes the same line. Up 1, left 1. So this is the correct graph for that equation, that function there. So let's go ahead and draw our line. Straight as you can. Draw the arrows to show that it goes on forever both directions. And we've got it. So as you're finishing copying that, we're now going to turn to those ones on the top of the page. They're a little bit different. So once you've copied that, let's come over and take a look at number 7 and 8. 7 and 8. So these two are weird. 7 and 8 are weird because there is only one variable. So when there's only one variable, this is a very strange situation. We have to think about what to do here. How do we represent this? X equals 2. So how do we do this? Well, there's one way. It's just to graph where does x equal 2? Where does, remember, because this is our x-axis and this is our y-axis, right? This is our x-axis. This is our y-axis. Where does x equal 2? Well, this is one spot, right? X equals 2 there, but that is not the only place. So this is 2, 0. This is 2, 0, right? But, for example, if I was to graph this right here, what is the coordinates of this point right here? It is 2, 2. Does this x still equal 2? It does. See how they're both x equal 2? How about like up here? So this is x is 2, 5, right? Put the x first. 2, 5. See how the x is always going to be 2. X is always going to be 2. So even coming down here, 2, -3. 2, -3. So you see how every point on this straight up and down line, the x value is always 2. Okay, so if you want to think of it like x stands for your left and right movements, right? X is your left and right movements. But look at this. If x equals 2, that means you're always locked in. You're always locked at 2. Your left and right is always locked. If you can't go left, you can't go right, it's always locked right here at 2. It's stuck. All right, so that's one way to think about it. So whenever you see just an x, go ahead and didn't look good. So the advantage here, you can always just go and draw a vertical line. This is the line x equals 2. X equals 2. Okay? Straight up and down. The left and right value is locked at 2. Okay? So you might be able to guess what would happen if instead of we had x equals 2, we had like y equals something. Okay, it would be locked in the other direction. So let's come over here for our last one and take a look at number 8. It says y equals 3. Again, why is this any different? Because there's no x here. There's no x. There's only y. There's only one variable. This is a weird situation. There's only one variable, so we have to figure out what to do with this one. So this means our y is at 3. So we can label our axes here, x and y. Where does y equal 3? Okay, so let's remember y equals my up and down value. Y equals my up and down value. So where does y equal 3? Well, this is one place, right? This is one place y equals 3. This is the coordinate 0, 3. But this is not the only place that y equals 3. For example, if I come out here, but then come up like this also is 5, 3. So you see how the y is 3 here, the y is 3 here. Even went over here, like negative 4, 3. Okay, negative 4, 3. See how the y stays at 3. In other words, your up and down at y equals 3, your up and down value is locked. Your up and down value is locked at 3. So it cannot go up, it cannot go down, it's stuck right here at 3. So, as you might have guessed, y equals 3, keeps doing that, y equals 3 is going to be a perfectly, if I can ever get it without clicking that button, horizontal line. Okay? You don't have to do these dots anymore. You can always just do a perfectly horizontal line. So for example, like let's say we had, for example, y equals negative 5. Y equals negative 5. You don't have to copy this down, but it would look like this. You would just put it negative 5. It would be a perfectly horizontal line. Perfectly horizontal line like that. Anytime it's y, it's going to be a horizontal line. Okay, and then just a reminder again, anytime it's x equals, it's going to be a vertical line.